good morning Facebook, good morning YouTube. Coming up on today's show, we have the incredible Joanna Smyth in just a few minutes' time. Then in about 20 minutes, we have Caitriona Ellis, followed by Deborah Burdett in about 40 minutes' time. So what a great show.
What a great show. It should be really good. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, looking forward to it today. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a really good one today. Full of the joys of spring still, I suppose, but full of it.
Yeah, why not? So, listen, guys, if you're out there on any of the social channels, give us a wave, give us a shout out, give us a like or a comment, and ask some questions. And let's keep this sort of thing flowing. It'd be great to sort of hear from you. So, Ed, what we got coming up? I hear there's a bit of a news flash going on at the moment. So, got a bit of exciting news.
Exciting news. We like exciting news.
We do like exciting news. So, what I'm going to do is hit my news. What's the story, I say? Well, I've got this to show you. Okay, we have a new club open, Cobra Strike, and it's run by the incredible Chris Mason, and he's hosting his first networking event this Thursday, actually, from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So where's it based, Ed?
Well, he's over in Essex, so it's that sort of like, where are we now? The northeast sort of chunk of London. So very well-connected guy, Chelmsford, all that sort of neck of the woods, over in Essex. Should be really, really good meeting. And the 300 Club, I think that's something to do with getting the top score in bowling.
Yes, I believe Chris is an avid bowler.
Yeah, I'm not an avid bowler, Andrew.
Aren't you? I thought you'd be a pro, Ed.
Yeah, you would think, wouldn't you? You would think with my normal sporting prowess that I would I would be there, but no.
Anyhow,
we've got other news as well.
Yes. Do you want to read out the new members?
I'll do that. And Cobra Creative has moved from a Wednesday morning to a Monday afternoon, 4 till 5. Just to let you know, those people who
fantastic
aren't aware. Right? Yes. Yeah. No. I do have some new members, which is really quite exciting. Shall we play a VT, or shall I just say them out?
No, just say them this time.
That's okay. So, welcome on board, Kaylee Dixon, who's joined us from Cobra Insight. So that's Rhea Nancy's club. It was Rhea Nancy's birthday yesterday, so let's just get in a sneaky happy birthday, Rhea Nancy. Harry Dockia has joined us from Cobra Connect, so that's really exciting. And then we had Gary Freegard joining us from Cobra M40. We've had Graham Hughes joining us from Cobra Creative. There you go, talking about Hannah again. And Daniel Terry, who also joined Cobra Creative. So we just keep growing. It's really exciting.
It's a busy time, and we had the property event last week, which was another success. Another sort of nearly 100 people in the room, and it was all good. So that's on first really Thursday. Yeah, first Thursday of every month. That one is. So come along, check it out on the Cobra Club's webpage, www.thecobraclub.co.uk. What I'm going to do, Ed, because I can see Jo in the green room down there. What we're going to do, give her away from where she is. Hi, Jo.
Stop eating all the olives.
So I'm going to play a little video to introduce Jo. And when we come back, we'll have Jo in the room. So let's see if I can find this video. So here we go.
you know,
Good
that's
morning,
such
Jo.
good.
Hello.
I'm getting, oh, yeah, oh, as I'm watching the video. It's really exciting. Hi, Jo, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you two? This is exciting. Thank you for inviting me.
That's all right. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Yeah, it's an exciting video, and yeah, congratulations. Very good.
Well, it's my first video. I obviously didn't make it myself. I engage the services of somebody who knows how to do that sort of thing, because I'm strictly writing words, really. So anything more technical than picking up a pen and typing a keyboard is really a bit beyond my wit. But yeah, I'm pleased with it, and I think it encapsulates what I do nicely. So yes.
Fantastic. Would you like to give a shout out to who made your video?
I would. I'd like to give Jones of 8 Interactive, because she's fantastic. So she does video
Fantastic.
training and also does videos for people. So highly recommend her. Yeah, she's
Hi,
brilliant.
Pam. Great work, Pam.
Great work, Pam.
Great work, Pam. Yeah. No, it's enough about Pam. That'll do.
So,
Who are
Jo, yes.
About me.
If you could just let everyone know the name of your company and what it's all about, just briefly, and then we're going to backtrack a bit about sort of, you know, your previous sort of roles and building up to this sort of moment in time.
Okay, well, it's Jo Smyth. It's word worker, because the emphasis is on the words for the content. And really, I have two parts of my business that I think complement each other. One side is the PR, trying to get some good news stories for my clients in the media, which will be read by their audience, and then hopefully build their brand, build their reputation, and lead to more sales. That is how PR works. And the other side is the content writing side. So blogging for clients, writing award entries, writing website content, and so on. And it's all kind of all on message, all, you know, obviously good English, engaging copy for their audience, and addressing their audience's issues rather than talking about what we do all the time, which is what a lot of websites go wrong, really.
Yes.
So,
yeah, fantastic.
that's me.
So that sounds good. So give us a little bit of background and sort of your experience over the years and the journey
Well, I
you've
was
been on
born
to.
in no, I won't go that far. And I hate to say anyway, but journalism. My background was journalism. I started in journalism when I was at university. I joined the student newspaper and became news editor of it. And I had found my chosen career, because I'm inherently nosy about people. I like to talk to them and find out questions about them and get to the root of their stories, and that's how it started, really. So journalism in local news, and moved into editing and sub-editing, which is all the page planning and design. And then I'd like to have stayed in journalism, really, but 2 children and nursery fees prohibited that, unfortunately. So I left, and so I started as a freelance I did freelance for a few years, writing for women's magazines and parenting magazines and that kind of thing. And then into PR. So PR's been my business for the last, God blimey, I can't think how long now, many years really, and word worker for about 10, 12 years, which is using my journalism skills, really just, it's all about stories, getting people's stories and finding a good place for them in the media world, really.
I suppose what with technology, everything's changed over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has actually. You know, social media has hugely changed the world of PR, because when I started, particularly freelancing, sending off pitch ideas to magazines, I used to send them over a fax machine. So you know,
right.
you know,
quite a while ago.
Exactly, quite a while ago.
You were right on that.
Yeah, now it's all online. It's all the internet. Everybody writes their own stuff. Everybody can create content, and that's great actually. So many opportunities for business out there. But
I think it's also it is great, and it's fantastic that people can do it. But I think sometimes that people forget that they're not particularly skilled in doing that. So they're very, very good at whatever they do. So if I use me, I'm a salesman, and then Andrew, you know, business consultant, we're good at what we do. But I'm not a trained wordsmith, i.e. to put that down on paper. Yeah. So people's websites often, when I look at them, are confused, and the messaging on them is confused. They understand it, but it's a different thing to actually get other people to understand and sort of get involved, really, isn't it?
No, that's very true. You know, it's quite risky to write your own copy. Even for me, actually, I've been rewriting my website at the minute. I found it a huge challenge, because I know what I do, and I sort of assume other people know what I do, but that's not the case. And you have to de-jargon copy, and you have to make it understandable, but without being patronising, or without dumbing it down, but explaining without over-explaining. So it has to be, it has to be clear and understandable, and also it has to focus on the benefits of somebody employing your services and not all about the features of what you do. So that's the copy side, and with the PR side, that's my journalism background helps me know the ins and how to get coverage for my clients, really, which is
that edge
being in that world.
You've got to stand out in business, and to have an edge, and that is an edge. It's an edge to have copy that actually makes sense, that actually communicates to your clients. And it's, we all know, so hard to actually win a client, and it's the small things that make the difference. Just that attention to detail, getting it right. I mean, we looked at our site after a year of it being up. We noticed a mistake. And you're like, oh, because we all read it, we all know. So you don't actually connect your eyes to actually what's written, and it's very easy to do. But you don't know how many people have looked at that and thought, oh, if you can't be bothered to get that right, I'm not joining. And it's so important. And I picked up through the video, and you've also done it for us too. I must sort of say to everybody, we use Jo Smyth because she's absolutely amazing for our PR for the Cobra Club.
Thank you. I'd kill you if you didn't, obviously. No, it's lovely. It's lovely working with you because you've got a lovely business, and it's a new business, and there's newsy stuff going on. And going back to the news side of it, I think people were so close to their businesses, they're close to their copy, but so close to business, they don't realise they're sitting on some really great stories that they could be getting out there. They might be popping them out on social media in their Facebook posts or LinkedIn posts, but actually, the media is crying out for news to run in their news feeds. There aren't many journalists left in the world now because of the cuts and advertising and paywalls and that kind of thing. So they really rely on people like me to send in newsy stuff. So
Jo, what defines or what makes a good news story? Is there sort of three elements to it? Is it just got to be sort of take your breath away when you read it? How do you define a newsworthy story?
Well, the key is in the word news. So sending off something that is just a bit of an advert or a bit of a puff for your business isn't newsworthy. It has to have that news angle that's of interest. It has to interest the readers of the particular media that you're targeting. So it has to be that you have to be sending it off to the right place. But it has to be newsy. It has to have a really good catch line when you're sending off in the subject matter. It has to have a really cracking intro because it's the intro that will make or break a story. And it has to have the relevant information sort of near the top. So if you're sending off a news release and it's about a fantastic event and you don't tell anybody until 500 words in where or when this is happening, that's pointless. So it's good, really good intro, getting the essential information near the top, including a picture. Photography is really important as well, sending a photo with it because that supports your press release.
Yes. So you must read a lot of, I suppose, releases and do a lot of reading, and a lot of what you see out there is in your world is not newsworthy, or it's not going in the right direction for the client.
Well, I don't see it much now because I'm working on behalf of clients, but certainly when I sat in a newsroom as a news editor and was on the receiving end of many a shoddy press release that was badly written, poorly targeted, we call it spiking it in journalism world. You just spike it because they used to once upon a time have a little piece of wood on your desk with a spike in it and you'd pop stories on the spike. So yeah, you've still got one, Ed. So
I've got the holes in my hand where it's
exactly. So if it's not eye-catching, it will just get spiked. So yes, it has to be the right media and well written and newsy.
And I think what I think is good for my business, actually to have an outside pair of eyes to say what your clients is quite useful. We found it really useful using you to just gives us a different perspective on what we might say and what the client might actually want to read.
Yes, yeah. You do need a bit of a news hound or a news set. So just an objective view, really, I think, actually, because you do get close to your business and it's hard to know.
Quite interesting. I mean, I can see a lot of people because of the FSB, and they'll say things like, "Oh, PR doesn't work," and absolutely right, it doesn't work if you don't do it right.
Yeah.
We found it really a really good source of business for us. And the other thing that's I noticed from your video and also that you've done for us is the awards side of things. When you're putting yourself up for awards. it's really important to get those applications written really well, zingy and powerful. And that's another angle to your business, isn't it? Where you sort of...
Yes, I help clients with award entries because there's a PR opportunity to be gained from entering an award, because if you enter an award and you're a finalist, don't wait till you've won the award to send your news out, by the way, because you might not win it. So nobody wants to receive a press release saying we came second, but if you're a finalist, that's the point you send it out. Finalist, yeah, I'm down to the last three, I'm down to the last four. And then
also, you might get some votes from those people if you're out there talking about it.
You might do, yeah, exactly. You definitely might do. And there are lots of awards around, and some are better, let us say, of better quality than others. So be selective, but don't be overly worried about that in a way, because if you become a finalist and you've got a nice little logo to put at the bottom of your email, to the outside world, they probably won't know that they might be slightly, Mickey Mouse, for want of a better phrase. So enter something that's relevant with a bit of quality control, but don't worry too much about that, I'd say.
And can you help people, Jo, to find sort of award categories to enter and guide them through the whole process if they so want to go down that route?
Well, I can certainly help the copy side. We can have a look around, because a quick Google search online will throw up all sorts of things. There's a couple. There's often local business awards. They're worth going in for. There's a couple opening Gloucestershire at the minute. Gloss Live Business Awards and Gloss Live and Gloss and Gloss Live Business Awards are around there, and they're worth doing, because they, if you get into the final of those, it raise yourself in front of your local business community. And whilst we are in a very small global world and we all sell everywhere to anybody, in fact, people still often like to buy local, so that's worth covering those off as well, I'd say.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So, go on, Ed.
No, it is that time of the day, Jo. We'd just like to sort of throw outside of your comfort zone slightly.
Oh, no.
Put you on the spot and ask you a question that maybe you haven't been asked in an interview before. So that'll get you both going. Mr. Hatcher is going to select from the wonderful selection of...
okay.
We've got a random generator of dodgy questions to ask.
Yes.
Dodgy as anything. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This has been an interesting one. Okay, here we go. Go about 20 seconds to have a think about it. So Get ready.
Okay. You want me to answer now, don't you?
Who's your inspiration?
Yeah, well, who's my inspiration? Well, when I was younger, my dad, actually. I lost my dad in my 20s, so he died quite young, really. And he was in publishing, and he worked really hard, and I was always really interested in his world of publishing, and he used to lay out pages on, remember Letraset? He used to do Letraset and stick them all down, and I just loved the whole world stationery publishing, that kind of thing. So he was a big inspiration to me. And I think now, I've always had a bit of a penchant for John Humphreys. Now I know he's a bit of a Marmite character, penchant as a journalist, not as a potential life partner for me or anything like that. And I know he's retired from the daily programme now, but from today. But I did like him, and I know he could be abrasive, but actually he was also quite gentle to the non-politicians.
It's the measured approach, isn't it?
So I think he had a measured approach, and
you've got to push, but you've also got to have respect, and I think he gets it right sometimes.
Exactly, and he's a lover of good English and good grammar, and he's written a couple of good books as well along those lines, which I've read. So I say John Humphreys. I would never be an interviewer like him, but I've always admired him as a journalist, and my dad.
Oh, fantastic! That's great. Fantastic.
Pretty cool.
Thank you.
So just quickly, Jo, we were rapidly running out of time. So if someone wants to, I presume you give people sort of consultations. How does that all work?
Very happy to.
And how do people get hold of you?
Through my website, wordworker.co.uk. I've got a schedule button for an hour with me, and we'll just have a chat about their business, what they're doing for PR, if they're doing anything, newsy stuff they've got going on, if they have problems with blogging, ideas for blogs and that kind of thing. So very happy to do that. Love to hear from anybody. I like talking to people anyway, so.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Thank you guys.
Today, you've been amazing. Thank you as always.
Oh, bless you guys.
A personal recommendation: you get in touch with Joe. She's fantastic value. Really increases your business, and just makes you look at your business in a really healthy, positive way. It's a fab thing.
Sure. Sort your words out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, thank you, Joe. Thank you so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
we'll see you again soon.
Take care. Bye, boys.
Morning, Katrina.
How are you?
Good morning.
So that was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it?
How are you?
Very well, very well. Welcome to the Gritty Business Show here live on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube today for the first time. So we're scanning across a few platforms today, which is good. And good to see you today. How are you? You been all right?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good. Enjoying. It's blue skies here, so it's all good.
Fantastic.
For the benefit of the viewers, where are you?
I am in the lovely, idyllic Isle of Man.
Oh,
fantastic.
With all three legs.
With all three legs, and no comments about three eyes or anything like that. Just three legs.
No, not Jake the Peg or anything like that. You're not allowed to say it, are you? Good.
No.
You're okay.
That's lost on me, that one, Ed. Yes.
Really good to see you.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Welcome to the show. So, Katrina, I wonder if you could, before we go into your business, tell us a little bit sort of a background to who you are and what you've been up to over the last few years, leading to sort of where you are now.
Sure. Well, up until March last year, I was a very happy, satisfied home educator of 3 children who were 11, 9, and 7 at the time. And happily doing that. I was, full-time mummy and really, really enjoying that role because, education is something that's really important to us. And I took time out from my corporate career to actually do this. However, our world got a little bit of a shake last year, March time, when my husband is an airline pilot. And obviously with COVID hit us quite severely and we lost our only income for about 8 months. Now, being in the Isle of Man, we didn't have the furlough scheme of the UK, and so we were receiving about £200 per week, which obviously, with a mortgage, 3 kids, just what's it going to do? So, thankfully, I had previously, for the previous 5 years, I had been spending time focusing on building up our savings and getting our own finances in order. So when that hit, we were, whilst we were taken aback and we were worried for a number of reasons, financially we were okay. We knew that we had pots aside and all would be good. So that was good. But what it highlighted to me massively was that we had huge vulnerability in terms of only having one income, and in an industry that was taking an absolute battering, we couldn't be sure his income would return. So I set about taking on some qualifications. I had forgotten that I was a financial advisor. Mommy had
just forgotten about that bit.
I dug out my yellow envelope with all my certificates and I was going through them and I was like, oh my God, I'm a financial advisor.
You do something.
Right now. So I was like, so I needed to, it obviously had lapsed, so I needed to revalidate it. So I did that. And I also had a real kind of a strong penchant to get back into property and to do something with that in a bigger way. Okay. So I decided to become a qualified estate agent as well, not by choice, but more because of compliance requirements here on the Isle of Man to operate on that flow. So I spent the last year becoming qualified and getting alternative sources of income set up. So that's where I'm at now. So I'm back working pretty much full time at the moment, and I'm educating too.
Wow. Blimey, you're a busy bee, aren't you? Yeah.
A bit.
I mean,
so is your current business about property? Because you do, like say, you do a few things, don't you?
So you have 2 main businesses, haven't you? Is that right? Is that my understanding? Yeah.
Yeah, I have two main hats that I wear. One is property based. So when this happened last March, I just sat down with a blank sheet of paper and I thought, okay, what can we do? And I'm not just going to rely on one extra income. I want a number. So things that we decided, okay, our house had 2 spare rooms and we're converting that into a self-contained apartment so that people will rent that and we will have another income. So that was one. And that's ongoing at the moment, going through planning. I tried out Amazon, that didn't fly for me. And then the property piece, we've bought 3 properties in the last 5 months in the northeast of England, have another 3 going through at the moment. And that was our rental income stream. And then I'm also working as an introducer for people who want to do the same strategy as we're doing. So that's another source of income. And then I suppose the piece that takes my biggest chunk of time is around financial wellness, and that's the piece I'm most passionate about. The other things were things to do and get in place so that they would rub along themselves, pretty much with small input from me. But the financial wellness piece is the piece that I'm most passionate about and takes up most of my time at the moment.
So financial wellness. It's a couple of words, but it's a big subject. So how does that work, and how do you help people?
Okay. Well, as I said earlier, I am a qualified financial advisor, but that's a model for me that it doesn't work, and I don't like it for a number of reasons. The costs and the charges are high on it. The returns are generally low in my experience, and it also, I find, disempowers people who use it. So they put the responsibility with somebody else. So my approach is to put myself and clients in the driving position. So they increase their financial literacy, they become more educated about what's available, what they can do, and they keep it within their locus of control. So, how many times do we see headlines in the paper of, pensions that have been destroyed because they've been poorly managed, etc. My pension, it's infuriating, and not in all cases, but in quite a number of cases, you actually can take that back, and you can actually manage it. I withdrew my pension from a leading bank, who are a pension specialist, in 2015, and I manage it myself on an online platform. I receive guidance on that, but that's totally within my control, and that's what I'm about, is putting people in the driving seat of their own finances so that they have it set up exactly how they want it, and they have that peace of mind and really just that sense of wellness. And for me, it's not all about money. Sure, that's part of it, but it's like, say, this week for me, a massive thing has been the fact that my husband has been back. He's been away for about since last September, working now, and we don't see him much. So family time for us is massively important. So me being able to have his support for the last week and be able to go to my daughter's hockey, which I normally have to drop and run because I have to take my child to Beaver. That it's things like that. So it's sure, getting the money stuff sorted, but it's being able to live the life that you really want, knowing that the money stuff it's taken care of, and putting you in the driving seat with that.
It's an interesting thing as well, because I talk to lots of people. I'm not a financial advisor, but quite often there's disparity between the two parties in a relationship, whereas one party, typically the man, has more control of their finances and more understanding of it than often the wife, etc. And I come across people who really haven't managed their own finances because they've sort of not realised that they could, and not realised that even that they had opportunity to do that. Do you find the same? I mean, is it sort of women's financial health that's sort of the poor relation to men's financial health? Is that something that's true?
Most definitely, in my opinion, anyway, Ben. And that's one of the things that triggered me to get back into this, is because I experienced it myself, and I felt a kind of disparity, and I thought, I don't like how this feels. And if my husband was to become, really ill, or something unforeseeable were to happen, whilst I know I'm in a good position income-wise, I'm not in a good position if his salary were to be wiped out through illness or whatever. So that felt scary to me. And I see other females around me on a regular basis who are in positions like that, sometimes in healthy relations, sometimes not in healthy relationships. And my feeling on it is, if you're in a relationship and there's a disparity in terms of the money, and it doesn't feel right with you, then that has knock-on effects, in my experience, on your relationship also. Whereas if you have that independence and you have that sense of wellness financially yourself, then that could only benefit your relationship. Now, I'm sure in some cases it will have, some males may not be comfortable with that, but I've got the space of the woman, and I want to have the woman's back, because I think often I find they lack confidence in doing this. They think it's something that's really complicated, and I want to say to them, educate, go, you know what, this is really simple, and I can help you step by step to take you through how to do this, and you can do this. This is a confidence issue more so, and getting them to understand that it's actually really simple when we boil it down.
Yeah,
well,
I think
sorry, Andy. In a strong relationship, if both parties are managing their money well, it's just going to make the relationship even, the money situation even better, rather than one person not bothering. I don't mean not bothering, but not understanding how to manage, and one person does. If you both managing together, it's going to make us stronger. So it's not about taking control so you can leave and all those, which it could be, but it's also about understanding where you're both going to be when you retire, and how you're all going, both of you are going to fund your retirement, etc. And it's and then it doesn't just have one party, and it could be that the female side of it is more than the male side. We all do different jobs, but actually we should all know where we're going to be, and I do think that a lot more men know and a lot fewer women do.
I think that it's hard to, if you've got plenty of time, you can go and research and everything else, but to have someone teach you the basics or your situation and the ins and outs of everything that you're doing and everything that you can do, I think it's just a fantastic sort of service that you provide for your clients. And take my hat off to you, because I think we all need probably more education in how to look after our financial matters, and I just think it's a brilliant kind of service, because you're just giving lots of people the opportunity to, like I say, become financially sort of, not freedom, but it's that sort of ability to make choices and understand actually the ins and outs of what you're doing with your money and what you invest in, or how you spend, or how you save, and so I understand you're running some courses, aren't you, soon?
Yeah, I've got running a free event next week, and it's called Financial Wellness Week. So we have a week for everything. So I thought, why not have Financial Wellness Week? So I'm doing that. Why not? So I'm running that next week. It's open at the moment to register. It's registering for free. So I'm going to be teaching 3 classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'm going to have 2 Q&A calls Tuesday, Thursday. I'm committed to keeping them to 30, 40 minutes, because I know people's time, it's at the end of the day, you're tired. I don't like, dragging things out. I like to keep it concise and to the point. And they're all recorded if people can't make the time. That's really scheduled for. So, yeah, so that's exciting. I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Fantastic. And how would someone find out about where to register for that?
I can probably, the best thing to do is maybe share the link onto the live afterwards.
Yeah, I think at the end is pop it down in there, so anyone watching this back over the next few days can find out more about it. That's for sure.
They can put an email.
Yes, an email, absolutely.
Fantastic. So what's the next? Sorry, Ed.
No, I was just going to, because I think your property business is also really quite exciting, because a lot of people would like to invest in property, and you've got sort of a turnkey solution for people, haven't you? So if you have money and you want to invest it, property market, things they can go down, but you've got quite a well researched, structured model that takes away all the hassle and the pain, haven't you, for people, which is really quite interesting. So can you just tell us why the Northeast, and how that model works?
Yeah, sure. So we work with the partner in the Northeast who has been investing in the area for 25, 30 years. He's a landlord himself with over 100 properties. So he already has the infrastructure in place to take care of the entire process so he for us sources the properties, he sends it to us, we say yes or no, and once we say yes, then it's our responsibility to take care of the legals and the finance, and he will then manage the refurb. Generally it's quite a cosmetic refurb, usually in about £1,500 worth. He will then find the tenant for it, and he will manage the letting. So it's very hands-off. Our responsibility is due diligence on the property itself and to put in place the legals and finance, and then he takes care care of the rest. So it's a dream for me, because I've never actually, and for some it's not the solution for everybody, most definitely, because I've had to do all our due diligence remotely, and that's not everybody's comfort zone. I have never met our partner in person, although a number of people have. So some people think we're certifiable. How on earth could we buy 3 houses and never seen the houses and never met the person? But at no point did we exchange money with him. We never paid the sourcing fee until after we'd actually completed. So that for me was a mark of the trust that he had in us and we had in him. And that's just the way he operates, because most sourcing agents take it up front before you even get property details. That's not the way he operates. And so
the Northeast, I mean, I get that's where he's based, but is that like an emerging property market? Is it a good market to be in?
It's always been pretty good performer, as far back as I'm aware of the stats on it. I mean, my husband is from that area, and I lived there myself for a couple of years, so I know there's a demand for social housing, and that's a consistent demand because of the culture and how things work there. So and that's what we rent our houses to local authority tenants. The rent is paid directly from the local authority to us, so it's as low risk as you possibly can get. So we're getting yields at the moment of about 17-18%, which is kind of unprecedented because of a particular way that he does it. Tenancy, yeah. So it's amazing. You know, we're netting just under £500 per property per month after a mortgage and bills.
And tell me, because it's, I'm guessing. So if I'm wrong, shoot me down in flames. I'm guessing because it's social housing, they tend to be sort of like simple houses. If that makes sense. You're not after like 12-bedroom mansions. You're after maybe 2 to 3 bedroom, semi-detached, sort of typical suburban houses. Are you? I'm guessing. Is that right?
That's exactly 2-3 bed buy-to-lets. They're often houses. We have one of the 3 is a flat, but generally it's 2-3 bed houses or apartments in a particular triangular area of Sunderland, South Shields, and Durham. So that's the area he operates in.
And approximately what sort of investment levels do people need to, if they wanted to? I mean, is it hundreds of thousands? Is it?
No, not at all. We bought our first in cash in December for 46,000, and that was an emotional decision because we wanted to end 2020 with one under our belt. But we mortgaged it then with 2 others. So the cheapest one was 45,500, and the most expensive so far was 50,000. So with 25% deposit and your fees, you're talking about needing, for a 50,000 property, you're talking about needing about 20,000 to cover all the fees and your deposit.
Okay, so the return on investment is very quick, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, per month, the rental per month is excellent, and yeah, just the voids are almost negligible because he doesn't take a deposit. It's managed very tightly. He's one of the only one agent that he's aware of in the area that doesn't take a deposit. So he manages the tenants, in a very systemized way because he's been doing this for so long. He knows what to do and what not to do.
So if you lost it, like where's it gone? If a tenant leaves, he finds another one and those sorts of things for you, so you haven't got to worry about that. Yeah. And how easy is it to move out of it? So if you wanted to release your investment, is it fairly straightforward? I mean, the houses are moving, are they? It's good.
Absolutely. At the moment, if we wanted it with the property we bought in December for 46,000, there's one 2 doors down at the moment on the market for 60,000. It is the Wild West out there. It is insane. Now we're not have no intention of buying that because it's way overpriced and it will be corrected in due course. So we're just sitting on the fence with it. But he has we with the people I've already introduced to him, we currently have a waiting list because we don't have enough properties as we have people who are looking for them. Because we've got a lot of buyers from the south who are actually buying properties unseen, paying 15-20% over the asking price. And it's a bit bananas at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, we're hoping it's going to calm down in time, but who knows?
Yeah, but your partner there, he's got over 100 himself, so he's an established guy. So there's stability there as well, which is really important, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, the demand for that type of property is huge. I mean, before our properties, the 3 had even completed, we had tenants already waiting to go in because he has waiting lists of tenants because they treat the tenants very, very well. The average tenancy with him is 4 years, 7 months. It's measured on a 3-month rolling average. So that's unheard of. Having lived in the Northeast, I lost count of how many times I moved house because the conditions were so poor and the landlords really didn't care. But he operates differently. So when a tenant gets a house and it's a house that's really looked after and any issues are dealt with very promptly, then they're very slow to move. So they're, generally the families. Yeah, exactly. And he encourages them to personalize it. So our first house, the lady wanted to do a feature wall, and we were 100%, you make it your home, and then you increase the likelihood of them staying longer. So it's a win for everybody.
Yeah, totally agree. Now, it's that time in the interview where we might ask you something that's a little bit outside your comfort zone. And it's quite interesting because when you have a husband who's a pilot, I should think you're quite well travelled. So I'm going to give you 20 seconds to think of an answer to something. Bear with me a second while I press my button, Katrina. That wasn't 20 seconds. Oh, no. That's a quick one.
Easy. Italy. Where
would you choose? Italy.
Yeah, Tuscany.
Whereabouts?
Tuscany. It's where Tuscany. I went on our honeymoon, and I've always had a soft spot for Italy. It's beautiful. Love it.
Tuscany's a magical place, isn't it?
It's
fantastic. When's the last time you were there?
It's just the food, the people, the land. Sorry.
When's the last time you were there? When did you last go to Italy?
Last time I was in Italy. Gosh, I can't remember. I can't even remember when I last.
Frightening, isn't it? Because you think back and it's like, where would be the next place that you book? Where would you book next? So once lockdown finishes and you could choose anywhere to go, is that the first booking that you go back to Tuscany, or would you go somewhere different?
No, I actually think I'd really desperately want to go to the UK to meet our partner, because we feel like we know him so well now. I'd actually like to meet him in person. So yeah, definitely, I think it'd be the UK.
That's really exciting.
Fantastic.
Really. Well, Katrina, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been great having you on, hearing about your your events coming up this week. Fantastic. Make sure you pop your details sort of in the chat sort of afterwards. And we'll see you back in the Cobra Club. And how have you found the Cobra Club?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I think it's so easy to use. Drop in, drop out, attend what suits you. And I at the beginning of the week now have gotten into the habit of writing in the sessions I want to attend with, and I've met the loveliest bunch of people. I've had business from it. I've had amazing referrals. I've had amazing collaborations, partnerships. It's just I can't even begin to get my head around it. And you don't need to attend, every single meeting. Just pick and choose the ones that you want, and it's superb value, and it's just a lovely, lovely space to meet people, especially operating solo. It's just nice to have that connection with people. So it's fabulous.
I'm totally with you on that one.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm glad it's working for you. It's working as intended.
I've got one more thing to ask you. If I was watching this, obviously there are tens of thousands of people watching this. Down, boys. What's the piece of advice that you would give somebody if they were watching this? If I had to take one piece of advice from you, which piece of advice would that be? Bear with me. What would that be?
I think easy, really easy questions, Ed. You'll have to make them more difficult for next time.
The square root of.
Take responsibility for your finances. Just grab it by the horns and just go with it. Anybody can do this, male, female, it doesn't matter. Just my passion is with females, because I think they're a bit on the back foot. So just take responsibility for it. Everything is doable, and there's always people around you to help you if you're stuck with something. And
my first step. What's my first step So I get that. Totally understand you need to do it. What's the first thing I should do? Because some people, it's very scary.
Yeah, in my model, it might sound a bit woo-woo, but to me, having a very clear idea as to what you're shooting for is essential, because if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up all over the shop and down roads that you didn't need to go. So having absolute crystal clarity, that's the first pillar of what I do, is getting clarity on that. So the way I do it really simply is I walk myself through an ideal day. So I get up in the morning, where am I, who's with me, engage my 5 senses, what do I see, hear, feel, smell around me, and walk myself through the entire day to go into sleep. And that's then I have that in my brain fired up, and I work towards that all the time. So is everything I do geared towards that? Yes, do it. If it's not, it gets ditched. So
fantastic.
Thank you for your time.
Great advice. Thank you so much. We'll look forward to seeing you again in the club soon. And thank you ever so much for coming on today. It's been great. All right. Toodaloo.
Cool. Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Cheers, Katrina. What great guests!
Yeah, it's been another.
Learn so much from people. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of opportunity up in property still. You know, you think as prices are rising, it's like, there's no point getting involved. I was talking to my friend today who said, prices are going up here. I can't see the point in getting involved. And actually, I said to him, well, there's different strategies out there. How about you invest in 4 or 5 properties and you do it a different kind of way instead of just one?
But to be able to buy a property, I didn't even know you could. I mean, this is my naivety. 50,000 quid, decent property, and people will move in with guaranteed paid rent from the council. I mean, how good is that as a business?
Yeah, plenty of opportunity out there, and recommend anyone chatting to Katrina. And
I would do too. I mean, these people to me, Andrew, they're heroes. Okay, but thinking of that, who is your hero of the week? I'm just ready to ride my horse. That music comes on.
There's so many to choose from. But I think as it's year end, and I'd like to give a big shout out. My hero of the week this week is our accountant, Ian Lawrence, who has just been assisting us through our financial, because none of us are accountants, are we? That's why we use them. And most of it goes above our heads, and we don't know where to put things and how to do stuff, and it can get very complex. So my hero of the week is our accountant for literally sorting us out, I would say.
Absolutely. So he is
Ian Lawrence from Lawrence Rose Associates, based in Sweden. Hero of the week.
Look him up. He's a great guy.
Yeah. So Ed,
what?
I've got something for you. So we haven't had any words of wisdom for a while. So
no words of wisdom.
No words of wisdom. So hold your thoughts for a second until I play this button. So here we go.
Well, my words of wisdom today, it's really interesting actually, because if you look at people like Katrina, who just came on, and Joe, they've spent their careers building up their knowledge, and their knowledge is actually defining the businesses that they've become. So Joe was in the press, and she worked through all of that sort of trilbies, isn't it, and cigars and smoking and drinking vast amounts, and she went through all of that, and she came out at the end, and she's become the embodiment of what she was good at. Katrina's the same thing. Katrina has a passion, a clear passion for finance and for supporting people. You can see that coming through into her business. So my words of wisdom today come from Oprah Winfrey, can you believe? And she says, what we dwell on is what we become. And it's really, really true. If you're passionate and you're focused on things, you become that. And you're a great example of that. You were, before the Cobra Club existed, you were passionate and focused on getting people together, not for profit, because you did it for free, just for the, if you like, the joy and the fact that it actually enabled people to do well and that good feeling that came from that. And the Cobra Club embodies that. So we become the things that we're focused on as we move forwards in life. So there's my words of wisdom. Focus on what you want, on what you're good at, and you will become it.
Fantastic. That's speechless, Ed.
I know.
That's a good one this week.
Thank you very much. Do you mean to say the other ones weren't?
No, they're always good, Ed. They're always good. Let's quickly go into a couple of things we've got going on briefly, because we are sort of rapidly running out of time.
Yes.
But you run a sales room, don't you, Ed?
I do. It's on a Monday at 1 o'clock. So if you don't like sales trainers and you're not used to getting any sort of help, come and speak. It's free. You can come and join me for an hour, ask questions, ask any stupid questions. It costs nothing. And I pretty well guarantee by the end of that hour, you will go away motivated with an agenda to actually increase your sales performance. So great, on a Monday, 1 o'clock. But hold on a minute, because I'm like the after dinner speaker. You're the main course. So at 11 o'clock in the morning, we have Mr. I'm trying to find your thing. Is your thing not here? Oh, it is. There we go. You also have some time at the club, don't you?
I do. So I give my time for free every Monday at 11 a.m. in the Cobra Club. It's about business strategy, and it's sounding board business strategy. So if you've got a question in your business and you want to bounce it off someone and just have a fresh perspective, then do drop in. And you get all sorts of people coming in with all sorts of issues, some big, some small. And it's just a good place to come and air these. If there's a few people there, we open it up to the room, and then everyone else has an input. So it's all an inclusive event. And you just get some really interesting stuff. And one of the things that came up this week was about your sales pipeline and sort of how long it takes to sort of get going in a new business. And, I will say be patient. It will come to you if you're doing the right things. If you're not getting anywhere after 3 months, 6 months, that can be quite normal. It took me quite a while to get myself going when I came into this trade. But the main thing that came out of it was just making sure that you've got enough strategies going on out there, enough sales strategies, basically. And this ties back in with Ed again, and different pipelines for generating work. So if you have 5 or 6 different strategies running in your business, if you're doing enough good things within those strategies, essentially you should start drip feeding work into your sort of startup business. So it's all about the sort of the pre-work you do to it, and
I think
where you're going to get work and how you're going to get it, and who you're going to get it from, who is your target client.
Well, what you do very well, and it's been clarity to that. So one of the things you're very good at is teaching people how to use CRM systems. So that the work you're doing now, and it may not come to fruition for 6 months, is valid. It goes into pipelines. You can visually see where you are with your business. You can see the work that you're doing now, and you can measure how that's going to be moving forwards. So one of the really impressive things that you can do is take something that can be quite cluttered and quite difficult to understand where the business is going to come from when you first start a business. If you've never sold anything, it could take 6 months, it could take a year. But if you have a structured pipeline so you can see all the contacts you're making now and the work you're doing them now, how that's actually going to progress forwards, it helps you to sort of rationalize where your business is and to give yourself structure. I've seen people. It's wonderful.
Get the foundations in, and that's what we do. That's what I do, and that's what you do, Ed. Help people to get those foundations in, whether it's sales or operations, and really see some clarity about what you're doing it and why you're doing it and who you're doing it for, and what you've got to do to make it succeed. And it's all doable. It is down to fresh ideas. I always say, think outside the box, try and disrupt, try and come up with something new. If you just follow everyone else, what they're doing, you won't stand out from the crowd. So, a lot of it is mindset, and you can achieve if you want to achieve and you're prepared to work for it. So that would be my top tip for the day.
Yeah. And when it's all going round in a maelstrom and you don't really know what's going on and the day is leading you and you don't really understand how how to farm for leads and how to hunt and all this sort of great stuff, come into the club and we'll give you some sanity. It's free. Come and get involved, and it just totally changed people's lives. We've got people who have started their businesses through the Cobra Club who are succeeding really, really well now. We've got some businesses going on, so it's really quite exciting to be able to see those journeys.
Yeah, brilliant. Anyway, ahead, I think it's time that we should go into the weekly events, because there's so much going on in the club at the moment. So if anyone doesn't know, this is the Gritty Business Show, hosted live at the Cobra Club. The Cobra Club is an online digital business hub based in the big wide network, and come and get involved. You can find us on www.thecobraclub.co.uk, doing some great things for local businesses trading locally and nationally, so it's really opened up stacks of opportunities for all sorts of people, and it's working. It's the vision is coming true. So
from the Isle of Man through to Scotland, through to the South Coast, through to Cornwall, through to London. I mean, and we've actually got a lot of international people coming into the club now. Just a fantastic community, really great space.
Brilliant. It's all good. Anyway, Ed, get ready. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
Always. Well, on a Monday morning, you can come and join me at 9 o'clock in the morning to get your diary full of appointments at Monday Motivation, 9 till 10 at the Cobra Club.
Fantastic. And then on Monday from 12 to 1 p.m, we have Ernest Parsons with Pure Networking based down in Reading, that neck of the woods, so come along.
Then you can come and have a nice cup of coffee with Christie's Virtual Coffee Club, which is between 3 to 4 Monday afternoon. A great meeting, really, really well connected.
Fantastic. Then it's all the way up to Birmingham, right there, smack bang in the central, with the big bull himself, Mr. Zafran Khan, weekly on Mondays, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
And in the morning, pop down to Bristol for Quest West Business Networking, 10:30 to 11:30 with the inspirational Judith West.
Fantastic. Then all the way up the M40 with Tantalising Tola and lovely donuts. That's every Tuesday, 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Everybody loves a donut. And then our new meeting, one of our new meetings up in Victoria Woods, the Cobra office is open between 1:30 and 2:30 every Tuesday.
Fantastic. Then all the way down to Kent, along the south coast there with the incredible Sally Marshall. That's every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And then Cobra Creative has moved to Mondays, so ignore that card, between 4 and 5 on a Monday afternoon.
Fantastic, must get that one sorted. And then one of the latest and the newest, and one of the best as well, Beverly Lockett, international Amazon best-selling author, the Hive Mastermind, every Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Happy birthday for yesterday. Rhian Anstey runs her club, Snowdon Summit on top of Mount Snowdon, 4 till 5:30. Oh, bring a jacket.
Fantastic. Then we have the mother of all events, Meeting Talents, which is on tonight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Grab a drink, log on, drop in, drop out, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and get involved.
Cobra Connect starts you off on a Thursday morning, 10 to 11:30, with one of the best connected people in the whole of the UK, Mr. Jonathan Boy.
Fantastic. Then some people may call it the main event, the Cobra Live Link Up with Mr. Barry Hunt. Every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Always different, always good.
And our new meeting, Chris Mason, showing you how to get a 300 score. This is an event 4 till 5, weekly on a Thursday.
Fantastic. Then all the way down to the South Coast with Louise Montblanc on the first thing Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's pretty early, but if you're an early bird, come down and get involved.
Then you can go and have breakfast in South Wales with the inspirational Shane Yates, one of the best connected people in the whole of Wales, 9:30 to 11 o'clock. Come get involved.
Fantastic. Then midday, Cobra Avalon, Somerset Ploughman's Lunch with Mr. James Richmond, down in Somerset, Woods. Come and get involved.
And then if you really want to enjoy yourself, join those Scottish people up at Cobra Sultan for Wind Down Friday, every Friday, 4 to 5:30. Bring a drink, ochai, and have a super evening.
We'll see you there, Ed. That's what it says.
I tell you what, I won't remember me, man. No, it's a great.
How do people find out about where to book these events, Ed?
Well, it's very tricky. They go to www.thecobraclub.co.uk. We've got an events section, so you can see all of the events. And actually, if you'd like to come along for free, Meeting Talents, if you go to Eventbrite and you type in the Cobra Club and meeting talents, networking, you can book yourself a free ticket, come along and join us and meet the club. We're all encompassing, and we welcome new people to the club. It's our lifeblood, really. So we love that. So if you never experienced networking before, if you're not sure about networking, come along, and we'll make you feel welcome. Bring a drink.
Fantastic. Yeah, why not? Okay, Ed, we've come to an end of another great show. I want to thank everyone who's been watching. It's just been awesome.
Thanks to Joanna, Joe Smyth, and to Caitriona Ellis. Inspirational people, really.
Yeah, plenty of inspiration in the club. So, okay, guys, we'll see you next week. Over and out.
Wow.
Now you're watching me, yeah, all eyes on me, 'cause I've been living the good life. So come fly with me into my fantasy, and we be loving the good life, good life.
I think this dream now just hit me. Why don't you just go there with me? Surf in the skies and splash in the clouds, dance in the crowds and laugh out loud. Holding your hand, unfolding a plan. Two souls in a land like gold in a pan. Float in the breeze or soak in the sea. Come go there with me where we both wanna be. Lie on the beach or fly in the streets. I'm trying to keep this vine in the reach. Putting everything I do aside, me and you are first. We can travel to the very end of the universe. You and me are meant to be divine energy. Living with no rules in a pool of serenity. Come be my fantasy, go away with me. Lock us up in the dream and throw away the keys. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. We need to rise with these new eyes. Pull the disguise off of these blue skies. Lights in the city reflect off the shoreline. When you're living this life, you want more time. Rewind the time, align, plan it. Ride this comet to a new dynamic. Your eyes on me, mine on you. Living the good life, we do what we want to.